Welcome, extraordinary creatures of the Colorado River and mankind worldwide, those serving as family, and those serving our Lord's church, more specifically for the women in both those entities. We are reaching out to the Blessed Virgin Mary as we're celebrating her Annunciation during the time of Lent, for help with the women, of the families, of the creatures, and of our Father's church. Begin with a hymn. Hail, thou star of ocean, portal of the sky, ever Virgin Mother of the Lord Most High. Sumens illud ave, Gabrielis ore, funda nos in pace, mutans hewe nomen. Break the captive's fetters, light on blindness pour, all our ills expelling, every bliss implore. Monster te said to them, summa per te preces, quid pro nobis natus, tulit esse tuus. Virgin of all virgins, to thy shelter take us, gentlest of the gentle, chaste and gentle make us. Vitam presta puram, iter para tutum, ut videntes Iesum semper calatemur, through the highest heaven to the Almighty Three, Father, Son, and Spirit, one same glory be. Hail Mary, so full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Spiritus Sanctus in te descendit, Maria et Virtus altissime ombrabit tibi. All right, we finish up with our summary of Age 3 of mankind, discussing the state of the church and religion. General overview, review. There's a lot in there, so please make sure you follow through with what we have written online. And now we return to Moses' autobiography, Exodus. And we left off with the 16th chapter. And there's a couple of things to note here, besides what you already know. First of all, in Epistle 16 begins the second part of Exodus. Remember, when I begin every book, I break it down like the ancients did into parts. And this is the second part for Exodus, in which the Israelis are sustained in the harsh desert environment. And the main thing for this is they're being prepared to receive the law. Lastly, you learned third age is now ended. And now we begin the fourth age of mankind. So we begin. They set forward from Elim, and all the multitude, the children of Israel, came into the desert known as Sin. S-I-N, Sin. If you look on our map online, it's between Elim and Sinai. And this occurred, from stepping forward from Elim, this occurred on the 15th day of the second month, after which they came forth of the land of Egypt. Remember, God said we're going to begin this new calendar. And this is the second month into this new calendar. Take a look at what's being filmed on this camera here. If you look at the vastness of the river as it spawns into a lake here, or even the incredibility of the Utah desert mountainside, and this vastness, try to imagine that it's occupied by people. A city is right there, right where the water is. This is the entire city. But what's unique about this city is that it's not entrenched. It's not stationary. It's mobile. So try to imagine this huge city, but it's on foot. It's moving. It's constantly moving, like the Everglades. Everglades is a body of water that's constantly moving. Yeah, this is how incredible the journey of your forefathers was on after being freed from this brutal slavery of 150, 160 years. Time-wise, this is right after the new phase. So it's 1 month later, the new moon, hence the new moon. Now all the assembly, Moses writes, of the Israelis, they murmured against Moses and Aaron. Why? Well, lack of food, sun becomes intense, nights are very cold, water is going to be a main thing, but murmuring against, we've cited this before, murmuring against, like they did with Noah, or even with Abraham. Oh, how often the wicked will murmur against those carrying the banner of our Lord. This is nothing new. And even our King Jesus foretells that it'll continue to occur after his death, and it does. And these individuals, they always murmur in numbers. They're so afraid to be by themselves. But when they have a backing, 2, 3, yeah, then you see how tumultuously weak they are. Not brave, but weak. All right, so what were they murmuring about? Well, they were saying, well, God could have had us die in the land of Egypt. I mean, when we sat over the flesh pot and ate the bread, our fill, have you brought us into this desert that you might kill us with a famine? See, food, always crumbling. The children of Israel. When his flock is sinful or obdurate, hard-hardened, Moses writes them as children of Israel in lieu of his children. Did you notice that? I'll read it again. It starts off, and the children of Israel said to them, not in our Lord's children, meaning our Lord's spouse, children, the spouse of our Lord's children. Think about this next time you sin against our Father. This occurs in the Apocryphas Judith as well. Another wonderful explanation that's given there. Even with this scenario, tempers are flaring because, like I told you, the desert vastness, you're not seeing any other type of civilization around. It seems to go on forever. It's like an ocean, only brown and no water at all, no food, barely any vegetation. Kind of what you see unfolding in the camera, minus the water. This seems to always be in the forefront of Moses' mind when he communicates with Elohim. He's not fearful of his presentation to our Lord, but fearful he's not doing enough for his brothers and sisters. His heart breaks when they come up to complain to him. And I don't imagine this man ever flaring back because he holds them in such high esteem. But instead he feels downtrodden. It breaks his heart when he's disappointing his brothers and sisters versus elevating them. What an incredible, super stellar man he really was. That's why it's great that you're listening to this, that you're going to explore it further, what kind of man Moses was and what he did for you. Moses writes, but the sixth day let them provide for to bring in, and let it be double to that they were one together. Let me back up here. Moses continues to write after, all right, so these tempers are flaring, people are griping. And our Lord says to Moses, as I told you, he's pleading to him now because he feels like he's disappointing in his heart, in his huge heart, he's disappointing his family. But they're not. He told Moses he would take care of them, and he is. He has an answer all the time as he says, I'm going to rain down on you bread from heaven. Let the people go forth, let them gather every day this heavenly bread, that I may prove to them whether they will walk in my law or not. That I may prove them they will walk in my law or not. It's not like he's trying to throw a life preserver to bribe them to follow his law. No. See, I read this and I see this as more of a test. That's why he's telling this to Moses. Let the people come up, and there's going to be restrictions on this. We're going to get into it in a couple minutes here. But as I've said before, our time on earth is a test for us. It's to validate how we want to live our entire lives. The infinity life is what I'm talking about. When we have 80 years to prove that. It's the same thing here. He's going to rain down bread on them, but he's going to put some restrictions on this. It's going to show him, do they want to follow his law, and can they? Are they capable? Free will. That's what I'm talking about. It's going to be a big-time display here. QUI EST chooses to leave it in the people's will to be content or to not to be content with enough heavenly food. Or will they want to covet more? Will they want to harbor it and keep some? QUI EST suffers them not to have more when it came to measuring. Yeah. And especially if he's guaranteed, which we're going to get into, and he's going to, which brings us what I said before, but the sixth day, let them provide for to bring in, and let it be double, that they weren't together every day. So on the sixth day, the day before our Lord's Sabbath, they can gather twice the amount, so they can have for the sixth and the seventh day. When we return, Moses and Aaron are going to discuss this with the children of Israel. So until then, Pax Vobis.